Are you curious about why tech giants like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft are letting go of so many employees lately? It's a really hot topic and there are a few reasons behind it. But why now? Well, during the pandemic, tech companies boomed. Everyone was glued to their screens, from work meetings to online shopping sprees. And to keep up, these companies bulked up their teams, leading to a hiring frenzy. For example, back in September 2022, Amazon had more than doubled its corporate staff compared to the same month in 2019, hiring more than 500,000 additional workers and vastly expanding its warehouse footprint. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, also doubled its headcount between March 2020 and September of last year, and Microsoft and Google also hired thousands of additional workers, as did other tech firms like Salesforce and Snapchat and Twitter, now known as X. Now that things are settling down and folks are venturing back into the real world, demand for tech services isn't as sky high. Companies are finding they've got more employees than they need for current workload, leading to these layoffs. So alright, let's break down some of the recent news from the tech world and what some of these companies are doing with their staff. So Dropbox started off the layoff season in late April last year, announcing they'd be cutting 500 jobs, which is about 16% of their global team. And then their CEO, Drew Houston, explained in a memo that their trimming down was more of a focus on expanding their AI products. Buzzfeed also followed suit, dropping the bombshell that they're slashing 15% of their workforce and even shutting down their news division. This comes after their experiment with AI-generated stories causing their stock price surge, but apparently didn't quite hit the mark. Then there's Google, making headlines in late January by announcing they're giving the old pink slip to 12,000 employees, which is around 6% of their corporate workforce. IBM CEO Arvind Krishna also chimed in, saying they're hitting the pause button on hiring for roles that could eventually be taken over by AI. They're eyeing about 30% of their current non-consumer facing jobs to be replaced by automation in the next 5 years. You know, after speaking with a few firms that specialize in artificial intelligence and how to leverage it and data and machine learning to optimize different companies and their workflows, they find that AI in many cases will not replace jobs, but they will improve productivity, I guess by call it 20-30% per employee or per team. But the big question is now, well, if we take 20-30% of the mundane tasks away from that individual or team, what are they going to do with that time? So I think we live in an extremely exciting era and phase where companies need to start thinking less about AI may completely replace this team, but more about if we can optimize their workflow and take 30% of those tasks away from them to give them 30% more time to focus on strategic thinking or building new products or things that AI cannot do, well, what are those tasks and how do we deploy that to take advantage of this? And I think communicating that will get rid of a lot of this fear-mongering around AI in general. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, joined the layoff party as well, announcing plans to cut around 10,000 workers, and CEO Mark Zuckerberg highlighted the renewed focus on AI as a big growth area. They're all about investing in tools to make their engineers more efficient, automate tasks, and ditch outdated processes. Zuckerberg's pretty bullish on AI overall, saying it's their biggest investment and will lead to some pretty mind-blowing experiences. And let's not forget the streaming platform Twitch. The giant owned by Amazon dropped the bombshell that they're axing 500 jobs, which is over a third of their workforce. And CEO Dan Clancy explained in a memo that they've been trying to tighten the belt, but they're still operating with more people than they need. So it's tough times all around. Sony's decision to lay off 900 workers is a significant move that's sending ripples through the gaming world, with cuts hitting Sony Interactive Entertainment and affecting key game-making teams like the Insomniac Games and Naughty Dog. Fans are understandably concerned about the future of beloved franchises and games like Spider-Man and The Last of Us. Meanwhile, Bumble's announcement of a 30% reduction in its workforce reflects the company's commitment to evolving its dating platform to meet the changing needs of users. Electronic Arts, EA, is also making waves with its workforce reduction of 5%. This decision comes amidst a broader industry shift towards digital gaming and subscription-based services. Finally, Apple's decision to reduce its California workforce by over 600 employees reflects the company's strategic refocusing following the discontinuation of its car and smartwatch display projects. With Apple officially shuttering its decade-long electric vehicle initiative, the company is reallocating resources now towards areas of greater opportunity, such as generative artificial intelligence. So a lot going on in the tech world. If you made it to the end, as always, thank you for your time and attention, and I look forward to chatting to you again soon.